This is the most important question. If you're a 9 to 5er or a salary earner, the most important question you should ask yourself every single day if you want to be wealthy is what happens if I get fired tomorrow? Or anytime you wake up in the morning getting ready to go to work, you ask yourself that question: what happens if I get fired today? You may not get fired, but asking yourself this question would be the most important thing that you've ever done for yourself if you're working on a job. So imagine that you wake up tomorrow. As you get to the office, your boss calls you and says, can I have a word with you? And of course, from the vibes, you know that something is up. And then eventually the HR calls you in and says, we're letting you go. We have to let you go. And for some of you, it's not even an imagination. You're living that reality already. I remember when I worked in Shell, anytime that there was this sort of news of an incoming or upcoming layout, or at that time, what Shell used to call selective voluntary severance, there was a lot of fever in the system. There was a lot of uncertainty. And then people who have never answered that question, what if I get fired today, usually find themselves caught up in a very, very difficult situation. So type this question. I want you to feel it. I want your nervous system to feel it. If you're a 9 to 5er, type it in the comment section now. What if I get fired tomorrow? So you get fired. You are 35. Or maybe worse still, you are in your 40s. Or worse still, if there's a word like that, you are in your 50s. Because that's happened to so many people. No warning. In fact, one of my friends was a banker. He was working in a bank. I don't remember how many years he had worked in the bank, like 14 years or something like that. So he got to the office one day and discovered that he couldn't even log into his email. They had sacked him a day before, no notice. He couldn't access his emails. He couldn't access the access control. He couldn't access a computer. And then he couldn't access the office. That was how he left. I'm going to tell you a little bit about his story just in a few moments. So you find yourself in that situation. There's no backup plan. That your rent is due. Your kids need school fees. I have been there. School fees. And worse still, when you find yourself in that situation where school fees come at the same time with house rent, and God help you, there's also a health situation. Somebody in the family needs health situation. What happens? Picture yourself in that situation. What happens? So the truth I need you to realize, if you're a 9 to 5 or a salary earner, that is a truth that many of us never realize until it's very late. It happened to me. I realized it. It was not very late. It was late by the time I realized it. But it was not too late because I did something eventually about it. So your salary was never security, and your salary is not security. Salary is good. Salary is good. In fact, salary is a major part of your journey to financial freedom and to endless cash flow. Salary is very important because often salary is the first introduction that many of us get to creating wealth after we graduate from college. But salary can also be very, very destructive because it can be addictive. You know, when you have been by classical conditioning, what the psychologists call conditioning, you have been conditioned to always expect that salary drop every 24th of the month. It's a very dangerous thing because it's happened to you 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. So by now, you're already addicted to salary. And by the time you've been addicted to salary, in fact, it's like 3 years are even enough to plant you into that addiction. It becomes extremely difficult to break out of that addiction, even as it is for many people. And then people think that salary thing is security. Wrong. Wrong. It can be. Indeed, if it's anything, it's more than a trap. Because after you have been conditioned and addicted to monthly salary, to that monthly paycheck, any month it doesn't come or it is delayed, maybe your company pays you on the 24th of the month, and then something happens to the cash flow of the company. It doesn't come on the 24th, it comes on the 30th. Between 24th and 30th, you are going through withdrawal syndrome. Exactly the same thing that people who are hooked on cocaine or hooked on, what's this one they call, is it Colorado or something? Exactly the same thing that they go through. So you've got to be very careful with salary. Salary is a double-edged sword. It can cut your way through and give you a breakthrough. It can also cut through you. Okay. I was in this situation as a salaried person, as a 9 to 5 person. I was in this situation when I heard these two questions from Jim Rohn. And I'm telling you, this question launched me. It launched me heavily into the journey to financial independence and to abundant cash flow, because it's actually more about cash flow than cash. These two questions, you need to write it in your journal. You need to make it a screen saver. You need to write it and put somewhere by your bedside. You need to put it somewhere you see it every day in your office. When you ask yourself that first question, what if I get fired tomorrow? What if I get fired today? These two questions will help you to begin to shape the answer to what if you get fired tomorrow. So question number one, Jim Rohn said, have you found the opportunity? And in bracket, I can say asset. Have you found the opportunity that will take care of your family for the rest of your life? Think about it. Just pause. You can actually pause this video and think about that question. Have you found the opportunity that will take care of you and your family for the rest of your life? Powerful question. Powerful question. He didn't end there. Then he followed it up with the second question. If you haven't, how many hours do you devote every week to finding that opportunity? These two questions will change everything for you. Because the truth is, if you haven't found the opportunity that's taking care of you now and that will take care of you and your family for the rest of your life, what else is important? What else is important than finding that opportunity? Why are you just running around hustling? Today, you are in real estate. Tomorrow, you are in crypto. The next day, you are in stocks. The next day, you are hawking something on the streets. The next day, you are attending one MLM meeting or the other. No, you need just one opportunity, one money system that will take care of you and your family for the rest of your lives. And this is what is going on with a lot of people today who are in their 40s, who are in their 50s, who are in their 60s, and they still do not have a money system that will take care of them, or that is taking care of them. And so people in their 40s and 50s, even though they are working, they are on this endless treadmill of survival. Okay. So, and as you can tell already, your salary is not designed to do that. Your salary, your 9 to 5 is not designed to do that. Because the day you stop working, that is the day you stop earning. That's a terrible system. The salary system is built on the trading your time for money. And your time, as it were, your effort, your energy is finite. At 60, you don't have the sort of energy you had at 17 or 18. But the secret is to design a system that instead of you working for the money, you make your money work for you. Because you can never work better for your money than your money can work for you. Highest, you make, $10,000 a month or something in salary. But with that change of paradigm, with that shift, your money, that $10,000 you make in a month, can actually make you 100,000 if you let it work for you. So that's very important because most salaried workers are professional firefighters. And I've been there, so I know. Professional firefighters. So it's always one emergency or the other. It's either you're dealing with rent, or you're dealing with loans, or you're dealing with gas prices, or you're dealing with children's school fees and all that. But wealthy people do it differently. The wealthy people build the escapes. They build fire escapes. Instead of every day fighting fires, they build fire escapes. And how do they do it? They make their money work for them. They create systems for earning money, systems for managing their money, systems for multiplying their money. Come to think about it, for instance, your rental income doesn't care about HR. And then your dividend stocks don't take weekends off. That's why this is actually very, very powerful. So having said that, let's say you go to work tomorrow and they fire you. Getting fired might actually be the best thing that happens to you. And you see, you can be happy when you get fired if you had answered the original question. If, for instance, right now, you answer that question, what if they fire you tomorrow? Then you answer Jim Rohn's questions. Have I found that opportunity that will take care of my family for the rest of my life? If you answer that question today, and in 1 year time or in 6 months time, they fire you, you can actually be the happiest person. It might be the best thing that has ever happened to you. So remember that my friend, that banker I told you about, that was fired from his job, that guy today has retired in just a few short years, like 5 to 7 years. The guy retired before he turned 50. Why? Because he now discovered that sort of opportunity that could take care of his family for the rest of his life, and he dived into it. You know what he went into? He went into making women's hair, and then later, barbing salon for men. That's what this guy has used to do incredible things. Today, he calls me from the United States. He's there with his family in the United States. The next day, he tells me, oh, okay, he's going to spend the next 2 months here in Canada. And then the next time you call him, he's in the UK. And then all through that one opportunity of making hair, of hair salon, if he had not been fired, he would still be in the bank today. Maybe today they would have made him like a general manager or something, but it wouldn't have been enough. Okay, so let me give you 3 steps of what you are going to do to help you answer this question. What if they fire you tomorrow? What if you get fired and you are only 35? Or maybe you're in your 40s or 50s. What do you do? Step number 1, buy back your hours, because that's your life. Your time is your life. And even though time is not money, time is a very powerful leverage for making wealth. Okay, so buy back your time. How do you do that? Dedicate 5 to 10 hours a week to building one income stream outside of your job. 5 to 10 hours. Not for Netflix, not for watching European soccer games, championships, and things like that. Those things won't feed your family. They are nice. Yeah, they entertain you. But those things won't feed your family. If you start from the moment you hear this video to dedicate 5 to 10 hours to looking for that opportunity that will take care of your family for the rest of your lives, and you build just one income stream is enough to break the cycle, like my friend did by discovering that there's money in making women's hair. One stream. I have another client, all she's doing is hair, the same hair. So She goes, manufactures this short hair. What does she call it? Pixie or something. Manufactures them in China, very high quality, brings them down to Africa and to different places. And this woman is making incredible amount of money. Young woman in her early 30s, far much more money than you can be making, called a managing director of a particular company. Okay, so there are a couple of examples like the one I've done. I've sold honey. So you can sell honey on WhatsApp. I tell you, I made so much money selling wild honey. I had to go source for the hunter who actually sources, who actually hunts wild honey, the wild honey without adding chemicals to scare the bees away. I went and found this guy in a bush that 8 billion people don't have the time to go. So what I was selling was not just honey. I was selling authenticity. I was selling natural. I was selling health. I was selling trust. So you can sell honey. You can record cooking videos. There's a lady who makes a lot of money. She also runs classes, just cooking, showing people different Nigerian recipes for making soup. And then there are other people who are making so much money. You don't have to be the fisherman, but they, excuse me, buy the fish, they smoke it, they package it for Africans in diaspora. So each of these might become your escape hatch from the 9 to 5 trap. Step number 2, build cash flow, not just savings, because your savings will dry up, but cash flow, true to its name, continues to flow. So imagine, for instance, you have rental property that brings in $400 a month. Maybe the house your elder parents, your old parents had in the city that they don't live in because now they've relocated to the countryside. And then you turn it into Airbnb or something. You're making $400 a month, $500, $1,000 a month. That's huge cash flow. Or dividend stocks, or you have digital products like I do. You have ebooks, you have courses, mini courses, and things that sell even while you sleep. Step number 3, turn your salary into a seed. Your paycheck is not your prize to go show off in the club, to go show off people, show off that you are a big boy and that you're earning a lot of money. Just give me a second. I need to plug my laptop into power. Just give me 1 second. Your salary is not there, for showmanship, to show people that you've arrived. That's the worst mistake that many salaried owners make. How can you show off on salary? It's not cash flow. Okay, it's a seed. So stop spending on this, ostentatious lifestyle, this exhibitionism and all that, cars and bags. Don't create wealth. But what does create wealth? Or what do create wealth are shares, your farmland, like I have farmland, and your side hustles. The day I started treating salary as seed when I was working with Chevron, that was the day my journey started changing. So to put everything together, if you've built a system, you wake up free. If you haven't, you wake up afraid. Like if you go to work every morning, you are not sure what the management will do. You are not sure what the board will decide to trim down the company, to lay you off. You have no control. But if you have a system, you don't have any problem. Okay. And Jim Rohn again says, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. So grow every day, refine your plan every day, learn every day, make the sacrifices and the delayed gratification today for a powerful future that you want. And the 3 steps again: number 1, buy back your hours. Number 2, build cash flow, not just savings. And then number 3, turn your salary into seed that you can invest in the stock market, invest in other financial assets to multiply itself. Your job can fire you, but your system will hire you, feed you, and free you. Now, if you haven't joined my mentorship group yet, take a moment to do that, because that is the place that we break down these things, practically, and help you to create a system, a money system that continues to make money for you and feed your family, even after you have gone. And whatever happens, keep showing up, because you never know what's coming your way next. And I'll see you in the very next video.